Inside Out 2. Inside Out 2. If you've seen Inside Out, apparently Inside Out 2 has now got anxiety. So, anybody's got anxiety today? Raise your hand. Anybody got depression? Raise your hand. Anybody who's got fear? Raise your hand. There's one simple question. What are you focusing on? So when people say, "Oh, I've got anxiety, I've got depression, I'm stressing out," why? What's making you thinking that you've got anxiety, depression, fear, all the above? So why is that? Why is Inside Out 2 got anxiety? Is it because everybody else on this planet has got anxiety? So if you've got anxiety today, there is hope, and people need to find out how to to actually get rid of anxiety. I was talking to somebody in my family has had, I think it would be anxiety, depression for over 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And the problem is with these problems, it could be your initial downfall. I always say to people, don't wake up dead. For me, if I physically wake up dead, the only people who'd actually think, "Oh, Justin never came to work. He never came to youth club. So there must be something wrong." The problem is, people need to react to these things that are around them. I remember years and years and years ago, I used to go to a church, and it was based on the idea, if you don't see a person at church, the first reaction is, are they okay? Have you rang them? Have you been round, knocked on the door and asked them if they're okay? Randomly, for me, I got a message yesterday off my mum, and he said the first question was, "Are you still working?" And I'm thinking, why? Why are you asking? And then she says, "Book says you are a volunteer." I thought, if I rewind and say I said to people 2 years ago, my book got hacked and people were phoning me, trying to send me a message saying, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" And the next question was, or the next answer was, have you been hacked? I says, I have been hacked. The person behind my profile isn't me. So I did some research on hacking, and apparently when my account got hacked, what they do is they work on a conversation with you as they are trying to get into your account. They are asking me question after question after question, and usually they out of their persistency, you let your guard down, and then the problem is with me, I wasn't checking my emails as I was being hacked. So they work on your main prime email address that you set up the account with. I don't say it, I just say book. Next thing they do is they send you a code, and then you have the ability to say, why are you sending me a code? Because they want to get your phone number. Because the setup is, as soon as they get your email address, they've got access to your account. And then they say, can you confirm your telephone number? So then by that time, they've got your email address and they've got your telephone number. Facebook at the time was sending me a message saying, your prime email address has been changed. Have you authorized the change? Then they have a way of blocking you out of Facebook completely. And you've got access then to the people who've hacked into your account. You get a message saying your prime email address has been changed to. So then you've got access to their account. But before you know it, your email address and your telephone number has been compromised. That word, compromised. So then you get all these weird and wonderful messages. And what the hackers do, they search through every single person on your Facebook, and they send or resend every single message. I think it's over a month's notice. So then you're physically saying what you were saying, and you get a telephone number, you get a telephone call. Have you been hacked? Why have you changed your name? Within 48 hours, everything has been removed, and there's no contacting Facebook to say your email address, your telephone number has been changed. I can actually physically now go onto Book and try to get into my old email account. And it will now say, this has been changed. This has been compromised 2 years ago. So I thought, right, I'm coming off it completely because I let my guard down, and I actually found my way onto YouTube and getting a lot of subscribers and a lot of interest on the way hackers will hack into your account. So I was watching this guy online at least 6-7 months ago, and they were explaining how hackers will hack into your account right under your nose and take everything that you accomplished. So for me, 17 years of being on Book been completely removed. And so basically, it got flagged my old Facebook account. And before I could say I want it back, it got completely removed. So if you actually physically now were my friend on Facebook, you would have seen I had over 500 friends. And what was quite sad, 500, only 5 I was talking to on a regular basis. So them 5 people dropping me messages, sending me a text message saying, have you been hacked? Your profile picture has been changed. But okay, so that's it. I'm officially been barred, removed from Facebook. So Inside Out 2 comes out apparently, I think it's next week, and they've got a little character called Anxiety. So, as you know, most of you watching me, watching you, may have some sort of mental breakdown, anxiety, stress, fear, and and you're having a problem communicating. Me, there is a circle of friends I speak to on a regular basis, and there is one person I meet on a regular basis, and they are trying to understand, getting some information from me. So it's nice to actually be, as I say, invited out. Are you free for lunch? Take you out wherever you want to go. I'm paying. So for me, where I am financially, I'm thinking, right, opportunity here. Get some fellowship, get some food, get a drink, have a dessert, and there you go. So please be aware that there are people out there who care, and they need to understand where you're coming from. So there was a family member that I actually caught up with a few days ago, and it just turned into a conversation of argument. And I thought, so am I asking the right questions? Am I asking the right questions? Are you asking 20 questions that are related to the circumstance? And the person I was talking to was thinking about, why don't you communicate to me on a regular basis? Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. And I come to an agreement that it's very hard to speak to this family member because of his upbringing and his way of thinking. So he's actually in this habit of having the same routine on a daily basis. So what I understand is he always sits on a table and it's always number 23. And I'm thinking, why on earth would you find a table and sit on and it's always 23? There is another friend who has the same idea, because that person is being influenced by my family member. So that person would actually physically sit in a pub and sit on the same table, 23. And I thought, what is so special about table 23? And I'm thinking, is it something to do with the book of Psalm 23? So I actually turned round to these two people and saying, it is religious. It's a religious thinking that every time you want to sit on a table, it has to be 23. So my problem is, if you want to sit on table 23 and there's somebody on table 23, do you physically come out of your comfort zone and go, oh, panic, am I able to sit there? And you move over to table 25 or table 22. Ooh. It's like, the problem is, church is almost identical to the table 23. If you actually physically go to church, you will find half of the congregation sat in the same seat. So I'm thinking, what is the obsession of sitting on the same seat every week? What is so, like, I'm thinking, why don't you just sit on a different table? Why does it always has to be same table, same chair? Why are we not actually physically sitting somewhere else? I meet up on a regular basis with a friend. We meet for coffee, and what's quite funny is we'll send a text message, and he'll say, I'm going to, I can drop it now, name drop it, cost a lot, Costa Coffee. And he always says, going for a Costa at 1 o'clock. So a few months ago, it used to be 2 o'clock. So why is the initial change from 2 o'clock to 1 o'clock? I'll give you an example, right? After a certain time in town, if you are aware of the buses, because he relies on the bus, right? So he wants to try and get into town early, meet me for a brew at 1 o'clock, and then he's back on the bus for 2:15, 2:20. Sometimes there isn't a rush, and you know what I mean? So every time he texts me a message, my reply to him, are you buying? Are you buying? So I'm guaranteed now in the next 20 minutes, I'm not even check my phone, he'll send a message. Meet you at Costa at 1 o'clock. So then my response is, are you paying? So what I'm trying to do is, he's got the Costa app. And I said, why don't you just try and save your free drinks? And why on earth would you get the same drink with a free drink? So I tried to get him into this habit of, you can get any drink on the menu and you need to ask for a large. Because the problem is, this particular person, this particular friend, always wants a flat white. And the price is always the same. So I thought, why don't you step it up? And if you want to use a free drink, why don't you get the most expensive drink on the menu? For me, when I go for a free drink, I will ask for a large cappuccino or a large latte. Something large, something big, something that will last longer than a flat white. So if you know what a flat white is, it's a smaller cup, as I believe 2 shots of coffee and a splash of milk. But if you go to Costa, it'll be like drinking a latte. So my problem is, Costa doesn't do the flat white, which is originally a small. I don't have a demonstration, so I've got a demonstration, but I haven't got a flat white cup to show you the sizes. So this is the normal standard cup for coffee. I'm not advertising any coffee shop. So that will be a normal standard coffee, right? So I would actually ask for normal standard coffee, black or white, no matter what it is. So what frustrates me about the types of coffee is, when you say Americano, why would you ask for milk? Because if you think about it, Americano is black. So why would you have an Americano with milk? Doesn't make sense. It's just a normal coffee, and sometimes it's probably an extra shot, so it'll end up like a flat white. Then you've got the next one is that it's a cappuccino, And what annoys me about the cappuccino is when you don't have the cocoa powder on top, it's classed as a frothy coffee. Frothy coffee. So for so people need to understand their preferences for coffee. So when I ask for a black coffee, it is an Americano. It doesn't come with milk. It is a black coffee. So like the Americans drink Americano, black coffee. So when you go to America, you're expected when they actually make a coffee, it's 9 out of 10. It will be black, and then you got the choice of if you want to add milk. So anyway, thought I'd just pop in, say hi, and it's all about Taylor Swift. Apparently, the whole internet is talking about the 32-year-old, 34 or 35. She's over here at the moment, so her next trip will be Liverpool. So everybody's like, woo! She's in Edinburgh at the moment, Scotland. So has she tried haggis yet? Anyway, I need to ask the question. Do you think Taylor Swift has had haggis? Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this, and I'll see you later, alligators. In a while, crocodile, and when my hand goes up, it means I've gone bye-bye.